Hey guys, it's H-harnessHobo here. Today, or well, for now, I just wanted to talk about just a little bit about fighting a bigger force, outnumbered, right? Being outnumbered and fighting a larger force. So a larger force, let's go with, for the scenario of explaining what I want to talk about, let's say the bigger force is about 7 to 8 people, and then friendlies, right? The militia, the freedom fighters, let's say more like 3, right? 3 or 4, so, half or less. So, the 3 main things I want to talk about, right? It's movement and repositioning, your cohesion, right? The cohesion of what you're doing with the rest of your guys, and firepower, right? What your capabilities are, in terms of, the firefight. So, first let's talk about movement. So with movement, you don't want to stay static. You want to keep moving, right? If you stay still, you die, right? Heard something. So, yeah, anyway, you stay still, you die. You lose, especially if you're outnumbered. They'll get a crossfire on you. They'll move in. If it's you versus 2 or 3 guys, they can have one in front, one to your left and one to your right, right? They can outflank you, right? You'll lose cover. You'll lose, right? You're not going to win that, or you probably won't. So sorry, I keep hearing things and thinking I hear a truck. I keep thinking it's coming up the trail, but it's not. All right, anyway. So yeah, you want to make sure you reposition well as well. Preferably, right? So let's say there's 3 of us and we're fighting another larger squad of about 7 people, right? We don't want to get stuck in. You don't want to get stuck in fighting, right? Where you're just constantly pinned down and fighting them back. You want to stay mobile, right? And what that means, what I'm getting at is you engage, disengage, reposition, re-engage, right? So engage, disengage, reposition, engage. And don't just move like from a straight line to a different tree, right? Don't just move like straight. I mean like come back and then do maybe a more circular motion, but then cut and then move. Just move irregular, right? You want to keep your movements irregular, so you can't like think, oh, they're just going to run to that tree, right? Go to positions where maybe it doesn't even have that much cover, so you wouldn't think that you would go there, right? Maybe instead of going towards the other giant tree or big rock, you go to the small like area of bushes and just get concealment, right? You can engage from concealment, right? As long as you engage and then immediately move, right? And it's engage, I mean to let off a burst or 2. Just let off a few, just let off 1 or 2 good 1-2 second bursts. Just enough time where you can fire, leave, right? Yeah, and just do that over and over again, right? Just harassing the enemy, right? Just moving like that, right? That's good, right? You just want to do that. So yeah, keep in movement like that, right? Keep your movement asymmetrical, right? Guerilla tactics, right? You want to move. Keep movement. Don't get stuck in, you'll die, right? Okay, between cover and concealment, cover is, always better, right? Well, cover is usually better, but do not be afraid of concealment, right? Especially for playing airsoft, right? Concealment is more, it is a little bit more effective, right? Because like big areas of brush, you can't really see it from where we are, but there is some brush, right? There is little patches of brush, right? And if you take cover in that, and if you have good camo, that makes it a lot harder to be seen, and you can engage from that, right? I would say it's safe to engage from concealment as long as you quickly reposition, either to cover or more concealment, right? Don't get into a drawn-out firefight from concealment. You'll lose that, right? Especially if they have more faster fire rate weapons or higher FPS, right? They'll punch through and they'll get you. So concealment is good, right? Use it to your full advantage. Now cover is good, but when there's big areas of cover, like for instance, like one of these trees, right? Now trees are an interesting cover, right? There's a lot of them, especially where I live, right? There's a lot of trees, but they're usually only a few. They're only like that big in diameter, right? And now you can get shot by around trees, right? Like whenever I play, I'll fight my dad, right? And he'll always get pissed because I'll shoot him behind a tree, right? And he'll be like, "How'd you hit me behind the tree?" Well, the BB's curve, right? My gun, it's hopped. I mean, just the way it shoots, the BBs start to curve to the right at a certain point, right? Or curve to the left, depending on what you have, right? So trees are useful, but don't expect them to save you because they're also circular. So if someone, pies out and moves to a different area, you're going to have less cover, right? So trees are, they're on the lower tier of cover. Rocks are really good. If you've got large rocks, like you can't see, but I'm filming from like a kind of large rock area, and it's good cover. Now rocks are good, yes. It's easy to get pinned down though in cover and get outflanked. That's why you usually, especially if you are outnumbered, I would recommend not staying in one place, keeping the enemy guessing. You want to keep them on their toes. You don't want to settle down in a spot and let them just, approach your position and overwhelm you. You want to keep moving. So that's good cover. Then the best kind of cover is, trenches and stuff, right? Like I don't think you can see, but over here, right? There's a trench setup. If you've seen my Tricon video, I'm in the trench that I've made down there. Now that's real good cover, right? That's really good. But if you don't want to get pinned down on that though, also you get pinned down, right? You get pushed, outflanked, pinned down. So basically what I'm saying is if you are fighting, if you are outnumbered, right? And you're in more of a mobile type of fighting, you want to stay moving. You want to continuously reposition. And now if you need to take a breather, right, find good cover then. If you need to take a breather, I'd say take behind some rocks or some good concealment or a good piece of cover and do that, right? That is preferable. And then continue to reposition after that. Yeah. But yeah, basically, just as a reiteration, move fast. Don't stay in the same place. Keep your enemy guessing. Don't move to the same places twice, right? Always move to a different position, even if it's not the greatest cover, right, or greatest concealment. Continuously move. Ambush, right? If you can break contact where they cannot see you, right? If you break contact where the enemy cannot see you, and then you reposition, and you engage again where they cannot see you, that is extremely advantageous, and you should always do that. If you can ever re-engage when the enemy does not know where you are, do that. But just do it, burst, leave, right? Book it, move. BBs can't go that far. You can outrun them, right? You can usually get out of range, especially if you're engaging from, 40, 50 yards, right? That's another thing. Don't get engagements too close. You want to stay it farther, right? That's why it's better to have full-size rifles. That's why I'll do a video on that. I'll do a video. This is gonna be like a 3-part series. I think I'm gonna do. This first one is going to be movement and repositioning. The second should be cohesion, right? Keeping cohesion or lack of cohesion, and then the third will be firepower, right? So yeah. I think I got in the way of myself. All right, reiteration. Move, right? Don't go to the same place twice. Know what cover and concealment is good to choose. Whatever else I said, I don't exactly remember. But yeah, I think that's about it for now. All right, this is just a good little, few minutes of talking about movement. What I think is good to keep moving and keep your repositioning, right? Yeah. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.